Hi guys, it's Kurt Sabella. Figure I'd do an intro video. I'm out here in sunny California at a rest area. Gotta take 10 hours off while I'm driving. So anyways, I figured now's a good time to do a video for you guys. There's my truck and trailer hauling some Caterpillars. There's the name of the company. There's my US DOT number. Just so you all know I'm not a poser. So, anyways, we are going to go over a few things. I was cleaning my truck, and then saw my bug out bag and stuff, and I'm like, now's the perfect time to do what you guys need in your bug out bag. So, welcome to my home, and that's all the stuff. No, I'm not a hoarder. So, let's begin with a few things. My name is Kurt Sabella, and I'm the initiator, I guess, for the Wisconsin group. So we're going to have a YouTube video as often as I can. So let's get started so I don't take up too much of your time. And I'll kind of go over things as I show you guys what I have. And maybe you guys may have it, maybe you might not. So let's get started. So first things first, I got a military grade backpack. Initially, I had to dig all this stuff from underneath my bunk. I had a Gander Mountain one right here. And it's a nice pack. It's got the waistband on it. And I mean, until I had to put everything in there. And it didn't work too well. So, I ended up going on Amazon or eBay. I think it was eBay. And I bid on this and I won it. So, it's got the waistband, the quick release straps. It's got ample pockets. So, few things. First, while we're looking at the pack, you're definitely going to want something that is padded in the back, that can clip to the front, that has obviously comfortable shoulder straps. Now what I did on this one, you can order all these bags, they all clip and everything, and then this yellow thing right here, in the military we had a bad word for it, a PUSSY pad, and this basically insulates you from the ground. So this is definitely a necessity if you have to sleep directly on the ground. It honestly does work. So another thing while we're here looking at the pack, carrying water is very, very important. So this is a military grade canteen, and inside here there's a metal cup. It's called a canteen cup, and basically your canteen will slide right into the cup. You can pull the cup out and you can actually cook with it, which is super nice, super nice. Also, Gerber makes a heck of a hatchet, a small handheld hatchet, which is super nice. I'm probably gonna screw this up. Anyways, I'm trying to hold the camera while I do this. It's a nice hatchet, very sharp actually. But the thing I really like about it is it's got this handy duty blade on the bottom, which is super nice. And they're not very expensive. I actually bought this at Home Depot. They had them on clearance. I bought my wife one and myself one. I would recommend it. And then on this other side, this is what you call an E-tool. It's actually a little shovel that collapses, so you can dig holes and whatnot. You can actually chop almost a tree down with it. They're pretty sharp. So that's my pack. Does have the US logo insignia on it. So that's that. I also have my tack vest. Got an extra blade on it. That I purchased that I put on the belt. It's got several pockets on it, stuff that you can actually put goodies in, extra clips. I got my night vision goggle case here. And that's actually a pretty nice tack vest. Something that you can definitely wear comfortably. I have camo in here to cami up your, I know it sounds crazy, but to camo up your face. If you got to move tactically, I know it sounds crazy to some, others not so much. I got a whole wad of 550 cord, we call it in the military, and you can just buy it and wind it up, and definitely have enough cordage with this. Also, I got a knee brace because I got a bum knee, so that's super important. Oh, welcome to my house, by the way. Anyways, let's get back to business. I got my night vision goggles. These are super nice. These were, I mean, they weren't too bad. A little over $200. So that's the stuff that's right here. I'm gonna have a seat and I'm gonna go over everything with you guys. So, well, let's start. Okay. So, I guess 65 degrees here, so it's I wouldn't say it's perfect for me. So let's just start going at it, man. We talked about the night vision goggles. I also have a pair of Leopold binoculars that I have. Really nice. And I know all this stuff is a little excessive, but it's something that I feel necessary for myself. I have colloidal silver for, I don't know if you guys know about colloidal silver, but it's actually, if you feel yourself getting sick or coming down with something, it actually is really, really good to kind of rebound your immune system. This is my toilet paper bag. You're gonna definitely want at least 2 or 3 rolls of toilet paper in a plastic bag, for the obvious. If you know, you could use paper, I guess, magazines if you had to, but this stuff is going to be priceless. Also, I have a fire bag. My fire bag, when I was watching the John X Army, his uncle had told him about dryer lint is very combustible. So my wife and I, we had actually been doing this probably a year and a half now. We save all of our dryer lint and we take toilet paper rolls and we set it by the dryer, and every time we clean out the dryer lint, we just stick it right inside the toilet paper hole, the toilet paper roll, and then we just tape both ends. I have several of those in here. I also have a pillowcase and a jar, a clean jar. Obviously many lighters, more of the toilet paper stuff, fire starters, magnesium, and a lot of lighters. Lighters are so important, man. I mean, you can use them for bartering. You can use them for pretty much, I mean, obviously anything. So, another thing, wasn't sure if you guys are aware of this, but crayons. Crayons actually will burn for quite a long time, actually. So, get some Crayolas, and if you're bored, you can always color something, right? Let's get to the pillowcase in the jar. This right here, you can soak the pillowcase in gas, okay? You can cut it into strips, you know, maybe inch strips, cut it all the way down. You'll have several strips, and you can put it inside the glass container and fill it up with gas. It doesn't have to be all the way full, as long as you have some sort of combustible fluid in there, right? Now, when you pull it out, you would wring out the pillowcase inside your jar, and if you're having trouble starting fires, you can always have a backup plan. It's always a great backup plan. Always. And also carry 3 or 4, maybe 6 to 10 even of these extra plastic bags. This is coffee. Be very surprised how important that's going to be in your bug out bag, especially if you're used to doing the coffee thing. I'm not an all-day drinker of coffee. I do like my coffee in the morning. So while we're on the coffee thing, let's get to what they call a coffee press. My wife had bought this for me, and it's actually a really cool device. So basically you have, if I can find it, well, here it is. You have basically Well, I'll tell you, I'm prepared. I'm trying to do this unscripted. So anyways, so there's little filters that you put inside this, a little white filter. You pop it on the thing, and what you do is you fill up your, this is how you can make espresso. So you don't need a full big cup of coffee. You just do, you know, a couple scoops of coffee in this. You dump your boiling water and it fills up, and then you take this little device and you mix it for about 25 seconds, and you place this apparatus inside your cup. This would sit right inside there, and then you got a plunger to press your water down into your coffee. I love it. I think it's one of the best things they've made for coffee. I normally get coffee out of the truck stop, but this is always nice, especially for the morning when I'm at this rest stop. If you ever had rest area coffee, it's the worst out of the vending machine. It's absolutely the worst. So anyways, coffee press, that's huge. Have yourself just one empty container. You never know what you could use this for. You know, water, fuel, anything, really. Always carry an extra empty container. Now, we have, let's get to hygiene. Probably kind of jumping around here, but I'm kind of grabbing things as I go here. Baby wipes are huge, man. Don't get me wrong when I say this, ladies, but, you know, if you're out in the field, you're out in the woods, man, you got to take a whore bath. This is definitely good for cleaning the necessary areas. Also cleaning your skin, you know, from oil and whatnot. These are not too bad. My wife buys me a whole case so I can kind of wipe down on the truck every day. I don't know if she's hinting or if she, anyways. So I'll carry some baby wipes. Also carry an extra washcloth. This is also important, obviously, to sit down. You can wipe yourself with some cool water. If you're at, you know, a water source or whatever the case is. And again, it's for hygiene, man. Also, you're gonna want to have a handkerchief. You know, handkerchiefs are good for getting wet, tying around your neck for your carotid artery to kind of help you keep cool a little bit. And this is also great. Say, for instance, I were at a stream and I wanted to scoop up some water, and it was not the healthiest stream around. Once you get this full, you can pop this over and you could siphon the stuff into your bowl or cooking utensil, whatever the case is, to boil the water. So it's got several uses. Then let's talk about a dust mask. I carry one of these in the truck with 2 brand new filters and a set of backup filters. Just nice to have. It doesn't take up a lot of room. Probably just a nice little ace in the hole to have is a some sort of breathing mask. Then if you're a Crystal Light fan, which I am, kind of breaks up the monotony of just having just plain water all the time. So some of these are really nice in there. Let's talk about some foods. This is really nice. We got them from Gander Mountain. It's actually a pretzel. Obviously, pretzels have salt. Your body needs sodium. They're also filled with peanut butter, which is a great protein source. Do a couple handfuls of these a day will keep you going. And then suckable hard candies. Having that sugar high is going to be great. And I have a whole entire bin, literally. I'll show you up top after I'm done showing you everything that I have. Obviously, for me, if this stuff happens and my truck goes down, my big ass is going to have to hump out. So, unfortunately, I got a lot of weight that I'm probably, when it does happen, I'm going to say, man, I don't need this, I don't need that, I don't need this. Also, let's see. While we're on the subject of water, a life straw is super important, guys. Super important. This thing is great. And you can literally just go right to a stream and drink right out of the stream with this life straw in an emergency. Everything that, I don't know what the financial situation is of your family, but I know some of this stuff can be a little overwhelming. My wife and I, we started preparing when we heard about the Planet X thing, and we like did a mad rush, man, like a mad rush to just get everything, man. Hurry up, get this. We dried meats and we dried bananas and carrots and this and that. We got a dehydrator and vacuum sealed everything and went out, and man, we spent thousands upon thousands of dollars. So we're set, but we were in a mad rush. So I didn't watch videos like this. My military experience kind of just tells me, hey, listen, you're gonna kind of need this stuff. So a candle, my wife had bought me this for the truck. I love the smell of this. I know it's got the glass container on it. Obviously, if I had to leave, I would just break the glass container, tap it out. But candles, if you have a couple stubby candles, huge, man, huge. So definitely have a candle. Actually, I don't even think that this thing pops. It can pop right out. So that's nice to know. Anyways, another thing that I have in the truck, I drink when I'm at home occasionally, is a bottle of booze. A bottle of booze. You can see it's not cracked. I have it just in case. Actually, after this video, I might have a cocktail. So, your choice. Whiskey is always good vodka. It doesn't have to be high end. It doesn't have to be Grey Goose or, Sauvignon or anything. You know what I'm saying? It could be cheap. It's a great bartering tool. And also it could be nice on that cold evening. What do they say when people get in trouble? They got their liquid courage, right? Well, this could be your liquid courage to keep you going. So it's nice to have. All right, so a knife. I got this big K-bar, and this is a heck of a knife. I keep my knives pretty sharp. Along with the knife, you have a really nice sharpening stone. You could really go a long way. You can go a lot farther with a sharp blade than you can a dull blade. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Also, I'm the kind of guy that's always probably more prepared than normal. But I also have a nice big machete as well. You can have either or, you can have both, whatever. And once again, it could be a great bartering tool. Man, you might need some food and somebody might need a knife. This sucker is sharp and it's got the serrated edge on it so you can cut small twigs. It's got a great gripping handle. It's got, you can cut the edge. You can actually cut your finger with this edge piece here. So a longer knife, I think, is probably better than a shorter knife, for the obvious. So, what else do we have? I have an entire box of ammo. An entire box. Because I carry a 12 gauge 870 Remington tactical shotgun. And I carry a Smith & Wesson M&P 45 caliber pistol. So I think I'm set for ammo. The only downfall is it's heavy. I'm gonna have to, I know for a fact I'm ready mentally, spiritually, and don't let the big fat facade fool you. I'm pretty agile. Mind over matter, right? So, it's something that you got to think about, So I do all flatbedding and chaining and strapping, so I try to get out of the truck and move as much as I can. Obviously, as I've drove truck, I've put some LBs on. So while we're talking about weapons, and I'm just doing this so you guys know, if I'm going to preach being prepared, I better be prepared myself, right? I'm not showing off here. If I can have it in this little cubicle that I live in you know, 4 or 5 weeks out of the month, or 4 or 5 weeks at a time. It's 5 weeks in a month, right? So if I can stay out here and have this and be ready to march out at any given time, then I'm sure you guys can. So this is a hell of a weapon. It is cleared, and I actually installed the collapsible buttstock on it, and it is cleared, just so you guys know. It's a hell of a weapon, man. The Remington 870 Tactical is a hell of a weapon. And in my ammo can, I have slug and I have buckshot. So that one's there. And yes, it is legal to carry firearms in a commercial vehicle. It's not in the, if there's any truckers that are going to watch this, oh, you can't have weapons in, fuck, I can't have a weapon. All right, so you can't carry weapons in a commercial vehicle. It's not in the, we call it the Bible, which is a federal commercial handbook. It's about this thick. Nowhere in that does it say that you cannot carry a firearm in a commercial vehicle. Okay, and if it's more or less company policy. Well, I don't have to follow company policy, and any one of our drivers are more than welcome to defend themselves, whether it be a pistol, a gun, a rifle, whatever kind of weapon you want. This is an M&P 45. I had one in the chamber. Thank God it cleared it. So this is a heck of a handgun. Okay. And my tack vest has a spot for it. All right, what else we got here? Your footwear. So I am currently wearing regular tennis shoes, which I think it's super important to have two types of shoes. A waterproof boot. These things are very light. I got them at Gander. Wore them a few times to break them in. I'm not a big boot wearer. I like the fact that they're high top. If you are out here and you're walking around and you're in the woods or in an area that's full of rubble, you're not going to want to wear low tops, man. If you're on a straight out, all out march, on a road march, and you're hauling ass, yeah, have some tennis shoes on because your feet are going to probably thank you for it. But when you're in a urban environment, out in the woods, anywhere where it's uneven terrain, have high tops, man. You can roll an ankle so fast. I mean, when I played ball, I rolled my ankle a lot. So I have high tops, man. That's so important. If you're gonna wear low tops, have some sort of ankle brace on. Have an ace bandage on. Because it's going to help keep your ankle straight. If you roll an ankle out here, people, you're done. I'm done. I'm done. You're done. And I wouldn't know what to tell you, because you're not going anywhere for a while. And there's no ice out there. You know, they have a thing called RICE. It's an acronym. When we played ball, was rest, ice, compression, elevation. Well, you can rest it, but now you're just slowed down on your mission to get to where you want to be. You can compress it if you have proper first aid kit, which I will show you in a second. And elevate, but you're not going to have ice out there, so you'll still have rice without the I. So, anyways, have good boots. In a winter scenario, I even carry a super warm pair of boots. Not necessary for you guys. All right, so losing my train of thought here, and the stuff I had. What did I do with it all? Anyways, and I got so much stuff to show you guys. Then we got it's right next to me. First aid kit. All right. This one is generic. My wife and I have a really nice one in our Bugout trailer. But I got rubber gloves and bandages and an ace bandage that's huge. Like I said, gauze, just your typical, very cheap, very generic, nothing high end. Hopefully I'm not going to need it, right? So, get rid of that. Now, okay, other foods. Beef jerky's huge, man. You get so much protein out of this, and it is flavorful. And of course, your energy bars. You don't want energy bars. Sunflower seeds are great. Peanut butter is fantastic. Honey is fantastic, and I have everything up. I got a shelf right above here that has literally a tote yay big. I'd probably say at least 60 pounds, 50 pounds. Candy, nuts, trail mix, all high energy stuff. A lot of beef jerky, a lot of candy. Just the problem is how you're going to carry it. I have the solution for how I'm going to carry all this on, not my next video, but after we do the group chat, I will, I'm going to make it when I get back home. It's probably going to be about maybe 3 or 4 days to build it at the shop. It's going to be PVC. It's going to be tarps and a bicycle wheel. I saw it on a guy named Canadian Prepper. He actually bought this apparatus that it was a one-wheel piece of equipment that you can pull from behind you, so you're up here and basically you're pulling it. I looked at it and I said, I watched the video and I said, I can make this. And I'm going to make one, and I'm going to bring it to our meet and greet. And if you guys all like it, it's got several uses. Obviously to pull your stuff, so if you're out there, you can pull firewood, pull all your gear. It's going to have a handbrake. It can actually be a boat, believe it or not. It can actually be a boat. It'd probably be about 6, depending on the height of the person. I'm about 5'10" and a half, 5'10". I know I'm not weight and height disproportions or proportions, so don't make fun, all right? I know I'm a fat guy, so, but like I said, don't let the facade fool you. So, this thing is going to be about 6 feet long by however the width of your body is, right? I'm wider than some people. And then so you can use it as a boat, a pull behind equipment hauler piece, I guess, a sled, and your shelter to sleep in, insulated. So, it's gonna be very, very interesting. This group, and I know I'm kind of chopping. I don't have a screenplay for anything. I just kind of, like Marv says, I like to talk. I just have a lot of knowledge to share, and I think that. I mean, unless you think I'm wrong, hey, put it in the comment, and everybody hit the like button and share it if you could. If you don't want to share it, I get it. I mean, shit, it's just really pretty much for the group. But if we can get other people to have the same stuff, I guess that'd be kind of great too, right? So anyways, I think you guys would be really impressed. I hope you guys are really impressed. I've already talked to one person about it, and they liked it. This group has myself, obviously. I was in an active airborne unit over in Vicenza, Italy. We were deployable anywhere in the world within 18 hours. The ABCT, the airborne combat team. I was in the Gulf War. I trained all over Europe, gone 9 months out of the year. I have cold weather training, jungle training, and urban warfare, stuff like that. We also have 2 other ex-military, former Marine and former Air Force. So, former Navy, not Air Force. If we had another Air Force person, that'd be dynamite, right? We have 2 nurses. My wife's an RN, and I know somebody else's. I believe it's his wife. She's his wife. She's also a nurse. So we also have a carpenter. I know how to pretty much work on everything. We have some people that own horses that also work on a dairy farm that we could actually work out with those guys, so that's pretty cool. And another guy's got computer experience, which I don't think we'll need that, but it means he's smart, right? This group is not going to be, I'm not the boss, I'm not the leader, I'm not I'm just the initiator. There is no leader. There's no boss. Everything is a vote and democracy, true democracy. I think that's the only way to go, man. Right? So, anyways, back to business here. I digress. Sorry. So now, okay. This is also an underestimated one. I just pulled out a couple of these. I didn't want to pull out a whole bag. Zip ties. Zip ties are so important, man. I wouldn't get the baby ones like these. These are for like wires on my trailer and stuff. But I got some bigger ones. The longer, the more durable. The thicker, obviously, the more durable. Have some zip ties. You don't need a whole bag. Maybe 20, 30, maybe 40. They're light, right? Don't take up much room, but they could always be that ace in the hole you might need, guys. Zip ties, okay? Along that line, some duct tape. Doesn't have to be a full roll. Half a roll is fine. And we already talked about the cordage, about the 550 cord. All right, oh, my fire bag. I'm sorry, guys, I know I'm just jumping around here. Oh, I have cleaning oil for both weapons. If you own one, you should know how to break it apart and clean it. I never took apart a shotgun and cleaned it, but I did mine. I never cleaned a 45. I did mine. Never cleaned a Mod 2 9mm Croatian made. Took apart that and cleaned it. My wife, I bought her an AR. She's my little killer. She can hit 200 yards. Hey, baby, if you're watching this, I love you. She can hit 200 yards, iron sights, no scope, and it's all body shots, like literally like this. So I'm pretty impressed. She had never laid a hands. She maybe fired a gun one time prior to this.